ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I welcome everyone to the seventh session of our Rajavidya Rajaguhya series. In this chapter, Krishna so far presented that the glories of the knowledge of bhakti are very confidential, yet Krishna is kind enough to reveal that knowledge to someone who is non envious, like Arjuna. And he described the glories of the knowledge that he's going to reveal, that is the knowledge of bhakti yoga. And then he described that everything is dependent on Krishna, how he is all pervading throughout the material existence, how everything emanated from him, maintained by him, sustained by him, yet he is beyond everything. That's what he established in the fourth and fifth shlokas. Finally, in the sixth shloka, Krishna described how he is our supreme shelter. He gave an example also. Yathakashasthito nityam vayuhu sarvatra go mahan means although the air, this wind, blows everywhere, ultimately that wind is enclosed within the sky, within the space. Similarly, all the we living beings, we may take on different forms and different species and different planets and different universes. Ultimately, all of us are under the control of or shelter of Krishna only, Krishna's energies only. Now, in the seventh shloka, Krishna describes something more deeper, more detailed. How he creates and destroys this material universe. In the spiritual world, everything is permanent. But the material world itself is sometimes manifest, sometimes unmanifest. It is created, maintained for some time, and is destroyed. And again, another phase of creation begins. That Krishna reveals in the next couple of shlokas. So let's begin the seventh shloka. We'll recite once. सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकां कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम्। सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकां कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम्. This is very simple shloka. Basically, Krishna describes that uh, at the end of one phase of creation, the universe is annihilated, and after some time, it is recreated. That's the theme of the shloka. So let's go into details. Krishna says, Sarvabhutani Kaunteya. You know what is Kaunteya? Kaunteya is son of Kunti Maharani, that is Arjuna. O son of Kunti, Arjuna, Sarvabhutani means all living beings. Prakritim yantimamikam. They enter into Prakriti. Prakriti is the material nature. And yanti means they enter. Mamika means this Prakriti belongs to Krishna. Prakriti is basically energy of Krishna, and that Prakriti is composed of three material modes. So Krishna says that, O Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, all the living beings enter into my energy Prakriti, which is composed of three modes. At what time does it happen? Kalpakshaye, at the end of one kalpa. At the time of destruction, all the living beings enter into Prakriti. Now, this word kalpa is interesting. Kalpa means one day. Whose day? One day of Brahma, right? So, just like in our one day, there are 24 hours. Similarly, in one day of Brahma, there are 1000 Divya Yugas. One Divya Yuga is combination of four yugas. We know Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. All four yugas put together is called one Divya Yuga. Sometimes it is also called Chaturyuga. Like that, in one day of Brahma, there are 1000 Chaturyugas. So once this 1000 Chaturyuga period is complete, Brahma's one day is complete. And Brahma's night is also of the same duration. So at the end of one day of Brahma, there is a destruction in this universe. There are 14 planetary systems in the universe, right? We are in the Bhuloka or Bhumandala. Above this, there is Bhavarloka, then Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka. There are 7 upper planets. We are in the Bhumandala. Above Bhumandala, there are 6 other lokas. All these 7, Bhumandala plus these 6 upper planets, they total 7. And below also there are 7 planets in the depths of Bhumandala. What are they? Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala, Mahatala, Patala. So total there are 14 planetary systems. At the end of the day of Brahma means at the end of one kalpa. We discussed, right? Day of Brahma is called kalpa. Kalpa means a day of Brahma, which is having the duration of 1000 yuga cycles. So at the end of one kalpa or at the end of one day of Brahma, all these lower planets are dissolved. All they are destroyed. Lower 7 planets are done. They are destroyed. Bhumandal is also destroyed. Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka is also destroyed. Means the lower 10 planetary systems are destroyed. And the heat of this destruction of these lower 10 planetary systems that goes to Maharloka. Maharloka is not destroyed, but Maharloka people experience this heat. Then all the residents of Maharloka, they go to upper planets. They go to Janaloka. Above that there is Tapoloka and Satyaloka. So they are intact. They are destroyed only at the end of life of Brahma. But these lower 10 planets are destroyed at the end of day of Brahma. Right? Then all the living beings in these lower 10 planetary systems, in this material universe, they go into unmanifest state or sleep mode if they are not liberated yet. So that's about the universal destruction that happens at the end of day of Brahma. Clear? So sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshaye. Kalpakshaye means at the end of day of Brahma or at the time of universal destruction that happens at the end of day of Brahma, all the living beings enter into Krishna's energy called Prakriti. Right? That is composed of 3 modes. Now, punahatani means again kalpado. Kalpa adi means kalpakshay means end of kalpa, right? End of kalpa. Kalpado means beginning of kalpa, means the next day of Brahma. At the beginning of the next day of Brahma, Visrijami aham. I again create them. So all the living beings are destroyed. Basically, not living beings are not destroyed. The soul has no death. Soul has no birth. When Krishna says all beings are destroyed, he's only talking about their bodies, not the souls. Right? Soul has no destruction. Najayate mrityava kadachin. Krishna established that soul is eternal in the second chapter itself. When Krishna says sarvabhutani, that he refers to the bodies. So all the bodies of the living beings are destroyed, and the living beings themselves are not destroyed, but they go into sleep mode. They enter into the body of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. In the beginning of the next day of Brahma, they again come out. So they again take on different forms. So it's like our day and night only, just to give a understanding. For example, kids go to school. At the end of the school day, the kids pack their bags, leave their classrooms, and they go home. And all the classrooms appear empty. When the kids go back to their homes, all the classrooms appear empty. The next day morning, again, kids come back to the school, isn't it? Similarly, at the end of a day, all the office employees leave their offices and the office looks empty. Next day, again, they come back. Similarly, at the end of one cosmic cycle, at the end of one day of Brahma, all the planetary systems in the universe and all the living beings in those planetary systems, they go into unmanifest state. They go into sleep mode, right? And the next day of Brahma, they are again created, right? So this is how the universe is being destroyed and created periodically. Even nature also has its cycles. Now you see a beautiful garden during the spring season. It has colorful flowers and singing birds and buzzing bees. But during winter, all the trees appear leafless. So many leaves fall down and they disappear. Everything seems quiet. But when the spring returns, again there are flowers, So during this phase, it's not that the trees are dead. Somehow the leaves fell down, but again the leaves will grow. Similarly, the universe also, at the end of day of Brahma, becomes inactive. But in the next day, again it becomes active, with all the living entities taking on different forms and species, and they are exploring their material pleasures or pursuits, right? So Krishna also keeps this material world um, running periodically. Periodically, there is creation and destruction, creation and destruction. So these cycles are very natural, like seasons. So next, uh, now to give one more example, all the vegetables came from earth, right? So all the vegetables ultimately grow from earth, and whatever is left over, again they merge back into earth. Again they manifest from earth. So earth becomes the source of all the vegetables and plants. To give a better example, see, there is an earthen pot, right? You use clay to make a pot very beautifully. The potter makes a beautiful pot by rotating this potter's wheel, and a nice pot is made. And the pot is used for different things, to store water, to grow plants, to store grains, and many other purposes. But after some time, the pot is broken, and this broken pot merges back into the earth, right? So, uh, similarly, all the bodies of the living entities are made of material nature. They come out of the material nature. The nature provides material bodies to the souls, to the conditioned souls. And after some time, the body is dissolved. The body is destroyed. It becomes old, it's dwindled, and it is destroyed. It's dead. And again, next creation begins, and the bodies come again. Just as bodies have birth and then death, similarly, all the material elements in the entire universe also has beginning, they have end. And periodically, they are created and destroyed. That's what Krishna is trying to convey in this one little shloka. So basically, Krishna is the maintainer. He's the creator, he's the maintainer, he's the destroyer. And this creation, maintenance, and destruction are applicable to the material universe, not to the spiritual universe. In the spiritual universe, there nothing is created, everything is eternally existent. This creation and destruction exists only in the spirit, in the material world. And why does Krishna do so? He just wants to give us another opportunity to perform bhakti and connect with him. The purpose behind this universal creation, maintenance, and destruction is to give one more opportunity to the conditioned soul to revive his spiritual consciousness and go back to Krishna. Krishna will clarify this more vividly in the next shloka, right? So, as time progresses, adharma increases, and Krishna has to reset the material world so that good can prosper. So, that's why, with the change of seasons, there is a change in climate, right? Similarly, with the change of yugas, there is a change in the mentality of people. Satyuga, people are in best consciousness. Then Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, then up to Kali Yuga, the dharma goes down. Then Krishna has to reset. After Kali Yuga, next Satyuga should come, right? So, like that, Krishna allows this time to go in different cycles. Everything is cycled, recycled. So this is how Krishna orchestrates his material creation. So tomorrow we will go to the eighth shloka, and we'll discuss how the purpose of Krishna behind this periodic dissolution and creation is just to give us one more opportunity to connect with them. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We'll meet tomorrow. Hare Krishna.